What's going on, people?
What up?
Episode 102 of the UNFAMOUS Podcast. Yo, it's your boy Sean, Mr. NJ Brick City.
This is Jai from Up in the Sky.
Just Kia.
Joe Cole.
Kenny Hardwick.
Unreal Fiction.
Yeah, we back for another episode, guys. What's going on? How y'all doing, man?
What's good?
Everything good. Everything good my way.
Yeah. How you week been, man?
I'm good.
But?
Started driving trucks.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, not on some CEO shit, but like just around the lot and shit, learning that shit.
Ooh.
Congratulations. That's what's up.
Get that in. I took my interview today for my transfer, so we'll see how it goes.
Yo, fingers crossed.
You know what I'm saying?
If it's in God's will.
Yeah, like I said, even if I do leave, I'm just gonna start fucking Unfamous Charleston.
Oh, shit.
The Unfamous thing's still gonna run.
The Unfamous Chuck?
Still gonna run. And I kind of got an announcement that I'm gonna make, and I'm just gonna say it.
You married?
Hoes, I'm back.
What?
Oh! I put in the honest effort. Did I not put in the honest effort on my kind of boyfriend shit?
From what he was telling me, yes. He
put in the honest effort.
I mean, but at the end of the day, look, you tried.
Yeah.
Maybe it just wasn't, for you with that person, and that happens. It is what it is sometimes. Like it's not the worst thing in the world.
So I'm just gonna
But I'm like this.
Hoes are never left.
Well, my thing is this. I hope that it's still like is.
It don't turn me against them.
Unchanging like God.
No, I mean, I'm saying I hope y'all good terms, no beef, nothing like that.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm good. Like
cool.
we still gonna be cool. I think on my part. You know what I'm saying?
That's all that matters.
But I'm not gonna. But I'm back.
Can I inquire as to what took place, or do you not just the general overview synopsis?
And I can put it like this. I know that I was showing her things that, since she never seen before, taking her places, and I was just being a good dude, but it wasn't appreciated, and certain things weren't returned, not just sexually, but just in the urban. Like, it's not like she wasn't bad either, but it's like, if you can go weeks without seeing me and it's okay with you, then I don't need to be with you. I don't need to be with you every day, but like if I call you on Friday, like what you doing this weekend, and you already got plans, you didn't even think to hang out with me, I'm like, I don't prioritize over nothing, not your dog, not phone calls, not sleep. I don't prioritize over nothing. I'd be like, yo, what you doing? Oh, my friend coming in town, and I'm da-da-da. I'm like, you was gonna even see what I had planned for the weekend? I bought some flowers that died because I haven't seen her in that long.
So listen, what's even worse than that to me is when you be like, hit somebody else, you be like, oh, what you doing this weekend? And they be like, nothing. And then they don't make an effort to make plans with you. We like,
thank you.
You don't got nothing planned, so why we can't, hang out or put something together? Like
this is so interesting to me. Tell me more.
And then it's like,
damn, why is this so interesting?
Because I never hear it from a guy's side. I only know it from my side. So
we
really
in the beginning,
trying, though.
It was like, yo, I go to her crib, she come to my crib, just back and forth. Then I found myself always going to her crib. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna say that I'm sacrificing this time because I want to see you. Then I'm coming to your crib and all kind of stuff, and like nothing's happening. Like we're just sitting there watching TV, and then you want to go to sleep. Then I'm trying to make shit happen, and I can't prioritize over your sleep. I don't get priority over nothing. Like nothing. Like, oh, can I see you? No, I gotta go home and my dog and something. I'm like, word. Like I can't win one. I can't get one thing.
Yeah.
I make shit about you all the time. We go to see the movies you want to see, when you want to see it. I make sure, like, if I'm going to a movie, we're going to see it in IMAX. I'm not watching no regular nigga fucking movie.
Shit.
Fuck regular niggas movies, nigga. I'm seeing this shit in IMAX. Goddamn. If I see the Avengers, I want to see it in the crystal clear clarity. When my nigga snap his fingers.
Right.
Everything start, you know what I'm saying?
I hate you. The ash between his knuckles when he snap them fingers.
He did the step.
See the ash in the Infinity Gauntlet when
He
he snap
did.
them up.
He did it all by himself.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn, bro. I mean,
wow.
I think everything happens for a reason, man.
It sounds like
I hope we still good.
Just
like,
from From my point of view, it sounds like, I don't know her, but it sounds like maybe she lost interest and didn't know how to express that. Or...
And if she did, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm grown. If you don't fuck with no more, let me know.
Yeah, just say so, for sure. But, people
But
avoid
the thing was, she told me, she was like, yeah, we haven't seen each other in a while. I take the blame for that. But I'm so busy, this and that, I was like, all right, I understand you busy, but I work a 12-hour job too.
Yeah.
I mean, you make time, and that's why I put it on Facebook, and I think she felt some kind of way and had a rebuttal like, oh, dudes think because they don't cheat that they're this and blah, 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 you don't do this. And I'm like, hold on. Ain't that's what you're supposed to think if you don't cheat? Like I can't just be a good nigga. Like I gotta be something. So it's like, yeah. So okay. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I was perfect, but I put my best foot forward. Mm. But it just didn't. I didn't feel like I was getting what I wanted in return because we were supposed to be building something, and it seemed like.
So it was understood that you guys were supposed to be.
Yeah, I love that. Like I'm not one of these. Oh, let's keep it up. Like no, if I like him, let you know at the gate. Like yo. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to get on something now, but let me know your situation.
Yeah.
So because I'm not gonna stop fucking these hoes if you just like, oh no, I just wanna I'm just keep these hoes on deck.
And that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, but it's cool. Like we still good, and it is what it is. And. But overall, I had a good week.
I was about to say,
the groove was like
Joe got something on his heart.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm back in the street for the rest of the summer. I'm not saying I was perfect. Let me put that out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I was perfect. I'm not saying she's trash. She's great human being. I'm not saying it's over, but as for now, I'm not putting forth the effort that I feel like I need to put in to keep her, or
Yeah. You know what? From going by what you're saying, I live by this motto: people make time for what they want to make time for.
Yeah.
No matter how your schedule is, you're gonna always make time
if you want it to happen, you're gonna make it happen.
If she didn't feel like you were important enough to make time for when you felt like things could have been done, then. I mean, shit, you gotta just keep it moving.
She made time for everyone. That's what I said. I didn't prioritize over anyone. Like, anyone, son. Anyone at all.
Except us.
No, y'all probably got more time than I did.
Damn, bro.
Bro, what you doing? I'm hanging out with Oz. What the fuck you doing?
How long were y'all going out?
It wasn't long. It was like, we were just probably like 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of just keeping on the low, but it was like probably like 3 months.
I mean, an old friend of mine said that's just typical black bleep. He used to say black. He's an old school dude, Vietnam veteran.
Yeah.
Basically, motherfucking bullshit.
That's the
it's a flim flam.
Shit. That's all that is. I mean, basically.
Flim flammery.
It's like in this world. It's like there's always somebody who's tortured. Somebody that's. One person wants this, the other person's not ready. Like, it's very, very few people that at the same time want the same thing for the same reasons. It's like that sort of thing. Like like in 3 months, she's gonna find somebody that she really likes and doesn't want to spend any time with her whatsoever, and the roles will be reversed, right?
Yeah.
And then you have both roles already, right? I mean, I've had all kinds of roles in my life, so it's like. It's just one of those typical scenarios, unfortunately, that happen. That makes you better.
But I think having that communication ahead of time, like, that's what's important. Like, because I've had that happen with the gentleman where he was like, hey, I really want to spend some time with you again. I enjoyed it. And I'm like, yeah, you were cool, but listen, let me be very clear. I'm not looking to date seriously with you. That's not what I want. We can be friends. I think you're fun, but... that's it for me. Like I don't feel any way about you. Because I didn't want there to be any misunderstanding about where we were and what it was. You know what I'm saying? So.
But that's what I want. Like if you're not willing to date me, then cool. Let me know. So.
Yeah.
I don't have to. All right, well, I'm gonna keep fucking these hoes and just call me when you wanna. Like we can still go on dates and do whatever. As long as I'm fucking, we ain't fucking. Nah, that shit ain't happening. I'm like, hey, listen, you late on your pussy bill, like been behind.
Not the water bill.
learning more of us every day.
Yo,
I'm proud. I feel like I've been a
Yeah,
horrible influence on her.
Yeah.
But I think a very frustrating thing is when you communicate things with somebody as far as you want to date them, and they agree to it, and then a short time later or sometime down the line, they go back to treating things as if they're casual, like they're not trying to build nothing when y'all clearly communicated on what the goals are, what y'all talked about, and you're not honoring what we talked about in the beginning, and it's frustrating because like now I'm wasting time with you, and you know,
could have been out here.
Could have been out here.
I'd
cut my hose off thinking we was gonna build something, and then you go back to not making time for me or treating shit on some casual type thing when we had an agreement and we talked about we was trying to build and date and do this and the third, but you're not honoring that, and it just feel like at the end of the day, I feel like you just wasted your time with that person when you could have just told me straight up like.
And sometimes things change, but I think again it's about communication, like having those moments to check in. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, where are you? This is where I am.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we understand where.
Sometimes people just lead you alone because y'all talked about it. Like, damn, I don't want to go back.
Yeah, they don't want to have that difficult conversation.
Right. So they don't want to lead. They end up leading you on because y'all had already talked about things, and they don't feel that same way they did initially.
Yeah.
And you end up wasting the other person's time. Just go ahead and let the person
have that
know,
conversation.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
oh shit.
The conversations do occur, but people change up.
Yeah.
Like when guys do it, it's never said that okay, women were not listening to the conversation. It's just guys doing fucked up shit, right? But women do fucked up shit as well. And then it's like it's said that, oh, you should have known all along. But as a grown people, if you're spending time with somebody at all, the assumption is this is either y'all just fucking only, or this is for some long-standing situation. Because we're not 15.
But that's why I said conversation. So there doesn't have to be an assumption.
So what is she in it for? Like if she never said, it's up to two adults to say, if they ever had a conversation, generally how it goes is, you have a conversation, y'all chop it up, it's supposed to be something on some level, right? And then at some point, one of the other people start to retreat from it for a variety of different reasons, right?
And that should be another conversation.
Women are scared, yes, but it still is black bleep because you're not approaching it as an adult, right? So
wait, I'm misunderstanding one.
Because if you're a woman or a man and somebody's expressing or doing things that are certainly relationship stuff, and you're just retreating. That person has the onus on them to discuss those things.
Absolutely.
This is what we're talking about. That's why it's black bleep, because if I'm 35 years old, if I'm spending any time with you, then it's if you're unless you're just a fuckboy till you're 35, 40 years old, which happens. Yeah, I mean, and shit. In a functional,
we had an episode about that.
in a functional society, people complain about that all the time. What's up with all these fuckboys? But there's a reason why there's fuckboys, because generally speaking, a lot of women are predisposed to fucking with fuckboys in this day and age. Period. So that's the problem, where your whole way of doing things is for that type of person. You're not even dealing with men on a level of I want to be with you, unless it's some kind of dreamscape. Right, so that's just that's what I've seen in my world. So,
I just think a lot of it can be again cut short with upfront communication. Like, hey, I know I said this, but I'm not ready, or whatever the case may or may not be. This has changed for me, so
that's true.
Let's move forward.
People don't do that though. They retreat. They do fuckery shit. This is not how people do. They say things. And then, especially in this day and age, when there's, Instagram gratification and other gratification that wasn't here 30 years ago, where you feel like you have more options than you do, that you have more people doing it than usual, right? More retreating, more, I thought this way today, tomorrow I don't. It's just more than the usual, unfortunately, right? So it's like it is hard to navigate that space when you have adults that feel like they're going to be 21 forever, when really, what are we doing out here, right? What are we really trying to do in real time? So that's just how I look at it, but, it's all of it is a growing experience.
For sure.
Yeah, like I wish her the best, and I hope we still cool or whatever. I don't see myself texting her at no time soon, but
Last week,
Okay.
So my week it's been interesting, full of some highs and some lows. I saw my good friend Dr. Kimara Millhouse graduate this weekend.
Congratulations.
Absolutely, absolutely proud of her. It was absolutely awesome. The school that she graduated from, I won't say any names because I'm grateful, that they saw fit to allow her into their program and all that great stuff. However, the program is about 7 years old, and they had the most amount of black people to graduate from that. It's in Alabama. They had the most amount of black people to graduate in this class, and there were 4 people. So she's actually a part of a chartering chapter member for minorities at that particular medical school, and they got little stoles that said "Black Grads Matter." Took pictures in it. Everything was cool. Like the classmates, they were all for it. Like they supported it. Someone's grandmother, prior to the start of the graduation, had a problem. The grandmother then went to talk to a professor, and the professor said, we don't really see a problem with it. It's cool, no biggie. She said, oh, okay, well, I'll just talk to the dean of students. My first question was, Grandma, how did you see that? That was number one, but we're going to leave that alone. So she came up and she took it off and she was like, here, hold this for me because, I don't want to start anything. And yeah, all of us are blackity black. So we was like, nah, shawty, what they going to do? You got the degree. You got your residency. If they turn your ass around today in Alabama, it's going to be hell to pay. Put your stole on and walk across the stage, sis. Like, nah, not going to do it. So she did, and we were really proud. And I don't know whose grandma that was, but chances are she couldn't see that shit on stage anyway, so she couldn't. But that was just interesting, though, that she really took it to that level simply because she thought that it bothered her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was interesting. But she didn't put a damp on anything. It was still a really good moment. She cried. So it was awesome. And then came home and found out that my granny passed away, so... Definitely gonna miss her. Love her very much. Things I learned about grieving. I don't like it when people tell me, don't cry. She wouldn't want you to cry. She's going to a better place. We should celebrate. No. I don't want to fucking celebrate. I don't want to fucking celebrate. 2 reasons I don't want to fucking celebrate. Because guess what? Even if she was still alive and she had moved elsewhere, I would still be fucking sad, dog. Because she's not here. So stop saying that shit. It irritates the fuck out of me. And secondly, ain't none of y'all ever went to heaven and came back, so you don't know where the hell she went.
What's nothing. Like people like to say cliche shit because it's the opportune moment to say it. It is.
And I had to tell my mom, I was like, listen, I know that you're trying to be encouraging and I appreciate it. However, this isn't helping me. Like, it just reminds me of what I have to deal with when I get home. So just pray for me by yourself, but don't send me those messages. Love me, but don't do that.
I'm sorry. And rest in peace to my aunt, Beth. Love you.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's crazy because they always say death come in threes, right? And then it's crazy because my homeboy just came from San Diego. We was hanging out this weekend for a funeral, and then that's like then your grandma and then my aunt. So that's like it seemed like it's a connection. Like people just old black people like death come in threes.
Yeah, you hear that all your life.
Like no, people die every day. It's just gonna have to be 3.
Daniel, what's up, G?
So it's like, yeah.
Multiples in general.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so the funeral's Monday, and that's going to be interesting. I've decided that I don't want to go to the wake. I don't think that's necessary for me. I only need to see her in a casket one time. Thank you, Mia. Thank you.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I've been pretty good. I took the day off after I found out, and since then I've had a couple moments, but I know that'll be really difficult. So... pray for your girl strength. What else happened? Oh, so I was driving home from Alabama, and I came up. Well, I was coming from Atlanta, so I was coming up the back road, like Highway 5 or whatever, to get into Rock Hill. Yeah, really dark country back road. For those of y'all up north, I'm talking about no street lights, like dark.
Talking about coming through Blacksburg and all that.
Yeah, so
dark as fuck.
I saw police lights like in my rearview mirror. And I pulled over or whatever because I didn't know if it was for me. But after he or she went driving past, I was scared shitless, y'all. Like, when I got back on the road, my hand was visibly shaking. Like, that's how scared I was. And I was like, for anybody who's listening, any of my cousins out there, my white people, okay, cousins, listen to your girl, okay? This is what we mean when we say, like, Black Lives Matter, and this is what we mean when we say there needs to be some kind of change, because I am a law-abiding citizen, okay? I was a straight-A student.
Wait. Was that the first time you got pulled over?
I didn't get pulled over.
No, was that the first time?
Oh, no, it's not the first time I've been pulled over, no. But, like, like I followed, like, the most I've done is sped, like that. I like to speed, but outside of that, I haven't had any other interactions with police officers.
I like to go fast.
I do, but just because of what's happening, like, I was genuinely afraid. Like, I had already reached for my glove compartment to get my insurance out to make sure that I wasn't reaching in the dark. And then all I could think about was all the bad stuff that I've seen. Like, the girl from 2017, who was also a college student. The cop pulled her out of the car, said he was going to find something on her, and proceeded to give her a vaginal cavity search outside in public while the partner held her down. He was not fired. He was not reprimanded. Yeah. They won a civil suit, but he's still on the force. So those are the things that Black people think about when they're being pulled over. Like, is this going to be an okay cop, or should I even pull over on this dark back road in South Carolina?
I want to give a quick, like, description of that road to people who do not understand, like, going through Blacksburg, because it basically takes you to 85. Like, remember when we was driving to Atlanta that time and we took that back road? Mm-hmm. That's the way we took. You know what I'm saying? And at night, hella fucking dark. Yeah. Nothing out there. You might see some coyotes or some shit.
That's it.
There's nobody out there.
Nobody.
So if something happens, you're kind of fucked, like, for real. Like,
and you lose service in some places.
Yes, you do. Yeah. So
I'm gonna say this, like, I have a radar detector in my car. So there was one time I was just driving down the street.
That's illegal, so don't say that.
In Virginia. You think? Come on, you think I wouldn't?
Yeah, it's not legal everywhere.
Yeah,
in Virginia,
it's legal here. I looked it up before I bought it. Anyway,
it's legal in South Carolina.
I'm not in South Carolina.
Anyway. Good point.
Anyway. So I was just driving one time, right? And I'm telling you, these cops, like, they're really out there trying to get people, because that radar dings if they send out or if they turn on their radar or whatever. Mm-hmm. I was just driving, right? I see one cop, radar goes off, he passes me. I swear to God, it still goes off. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I look behind me, another cop, he cruises up next to me, keeps going. I turned on this road, approaching a railroad. It's like they were in a line or some shit. Like, they were trying just to. Oh yeah. I was standing on the speed line because I was like, shit. I feel like you're following me, whatever. And I went over the railroad. As soon as I went over the railroad, I was like, it's gonna go off. And because they were ready to speed off, it went off again. So it's like, these motherfuckers out there, like, trying hard just to get a fucking. Yeah. And they were pinging because it was like they would press the button and it would go off. Yeah. Like, they was just trying to find a reason to pull me over. But I didn't give them a reason, so.
But yeah, it was really scary. And afterwards, I was like I realized, like, I had an adrenaline rush after. I had a real physiological, real shit. Like, that's why I was shaking afterwards. Like, that's what happened. Like, I had a real physiological reaction to just seeing blue lights in my rearview mirror.
And you felt alive after that. You was like,
I was like, bro, I was awake as hell. Let me tell you. But I was like, I shouldn't have to feel this way.
No.
That's not okay. I shouldn't have to feel this way. So.
I'm sorry that you had to feel that way, man.
Want my cousins to understand where we're coming from. Yes. That's it. Cousins.
Yes.
R.I.P. That's your mother's mother?
My granny's, or my daddy's mother.
Your daddy's mother?
Yeah,
okay.
She helped raise me, so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, no, rest in power. I had a great week. Son Jalen's graduating tomorrow morning.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm excited about that. Should be a very celebratory weekend. He can start his adult life now.
What are his postgraduate plans?
Find a summer job, and then think about, Air Force. Thinking about, I'm just staring him into, I guess trade schools, technical schools first, maybe. He's not, I feel like if he gets something on his belt now, just making money, he'll start to blossom into something else. I just wanted to get him past that high school hump. He just had a hard time in a regular high school, so the military school seemed to be a better fit for him. He did very well there, And he got very fit there and
All right.
much more confident. So
That's what's up.
looking forward to that next process. But tomorrow's gonna be a great day. Other than that, just going with the flow. Keisha had a outpatient surgery on her hand, so that went well. Just going through the 2-week process of healing. And
shout out to her. I haven't seen Keisha in a minute.
yeah, she's just
I know she
post baby stuff and
just tell her I say hey.
yeah, definitely I'll let her know. Sometimes she comes in and out watching it, but tonight she's sleeping because we're leaving at 5:30 a.m. So she's at the house is in sick mode. But then I don't know if we'll talk about this, but everybody, I mean, if they haven't seen it yet, when they see us.
Yeah, we just plan on having
we're gonna have a
segment about
I haven't watched it yet,
Powerful.
but we definitely want to have a good discussion.
Powerful movie. Series on Netflix. Great, wonderfully done.
Yeah.
I lived through it. I'm the same age as those. I'm a little older than my son, but about the same age as all of them. It was portrayed very well, and it's just funny how many people thought they were guilty in that moment at that time.
Just because of proximity and
proximity and people, it's just like that. People just thought, if they rough a bicyclist, that they might do that too. So there were people that you wouldn't think they were guilty, but there were a lot of supporters at that time too. So it wasn't like everybody was against them, but there were fair people who were like, hey, it sounds like they did it, or they knew about who did it. But it was great. It was wonderfully done and gut-wrenching, and just an amazing story. Better than you can write it. It's just amazing how they got to that point. And the funny thing is, they wouldn't have even made the movie unless this serial rapist somehow changed his mind and said that he did it. That's the only way it happened. Because even if everybody know they didn't do it, if he didn't do that, if he wasn't alive, it still would have been a cast of doubt, and they still would have been sex offenders for life. If he didn't, even if we all knew he didn't do it.
Yeah.
He still had to occur, which is crazy. It was just.
And even now, there's I believe they said the victim was saying that she's still not sure that it was just him. She doesn't believe. She believes that it was him in addition to others.
I mean, she only knows what she said because she doesn't remember anything.
Right.
So it's like she's not irrelevant, but she's not relevant because she doesn't remember what happened. But all we know is that 4 women died and were raped after that.
Yes.
Hold on. Before let's get to the week.
My bad.
Let's get to everybody's week.
Excuse me.
Oh, but before
I don't want to.
I was gonna say before Joe does stop. Joe did probably one of the dopest things this week. So we're in training this week.
Oh
right?
shit.
So
oh shit.
One of the instructors, I don't know. I guess he's gung ho. I love America and this and the Star Spangled Banner and this and that. So this what happens. He said something about the Star Spangled Banner. Before I even knew what was going on, I look at Joe. I was like, "All right, Joe, man, bro." He was there. Don't do it. I said, "Joe, don't do it, dog." He's like, so then you man kept saying something, right? So he's talking about because America and this is what it means to me and patriotic and all that. And I looked at Joe again. I said, you know what? I'm gonna let this motherfucker loose.
Green light.
Green light.
Green light.
So
I just sit there and look at Sean.
Joe was like, he goes, he says what he says, right? And this shit was so it was so beautiful. I loved it because it got quiet. That was a moment that we had a supervisor. The supervisor could easily say, "Hey guys, chill out." She's like, she could have said, "Chill out. Let's just go ahead and get through this." I know you might have something to say, and it would have been like, "Okay, don't worry about it. We'll talk about it another time." Now let this motherfucker go in, and
she probably felt the same way,
bruh. And then it was so beautiful. Your man, I'm sitting there looking at your boy. I'm like, you do know, Joe got you. Oh, he got you.
So wait, I'm confused. Why did the talk of Star Spangled Banner and patriotism come into
because
training?
it was Memorial Day.
What does that have to do with training?
But
because he does that shit.
Exactly.
That's just what they do.
Oh, okay.
He just does that shit.
Over zealous This is that annoys me. It's like, my fault. This doesn't annoy me. The people that is so, I love America and blah, blah, blah. You be like, you did military? Oh, no. I never been did military in my fucking life.
He did, but it's just...
And those be the worst ones because those are the ones with 82 guns at home, ready to fucking do some dumb shit.
But this was the thing.
For America!
This is the thing that was so beautiful about it. I'm looking at you, man, like, you do realize you lost. Anything you say in this room with predominantly black people in this room, son, you're gonna look really fucking insensitive to why that we don't really subscribe to the Star Spangled Banner. Like we don't subscribe to that
video. I couldn't even watch that video.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm sitting there in my head like,
I'm looking like, he like, I call bullshit. No, the fuck you don't call bullshit. Like, there ain't no bullshit on that.
Joe had me fucked up. I couldn't even watch that.
I was trying to fuck everybody up with that.
Oh, you ain't fuck me up.
You already know.
I'm already dead.
But
I had to sit next to this motherfucker.
Yeah, but I mean to make a long story short, I just want to be like, look, when I hear people say patriotism, I told them that I said a song is not proof positive of my patriotism because it's like you, all the serial killers, most of the Unabomber and Timothy McVeigh, all in the military. That don't mean shit to me.
Yeah.
But my family has fought in every war this country ever had, so I don't have to be debated about that. And one song does not resonate with me because of these very, very real reasons.
Yep.
Times don't change that much. 1800s not that long ago.
Yeah.
My grandfather was born 1800s. I'm not that fucking old. 1800s, my grandfather was born at that time, so you talk about, back then, no. It was never right to do what Francis Scott Key did, and it was never correct for that standard to be there. I know why it was written and how it was written, so, it might resonate with you for sure, but it's not evidence of your loyalty to the country, though.
Yeah.
Because it took 100 years to get that one song. I could write a song that better illustrates America than that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and there are others that are out there that can. So, I just say, look, if you want to play
the police.
There's a whole lot of songs.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'll leave it at that. But it was like you said.
But you know what, though? Thank you, Joe, because you made my day that day, dog. Because I was looking at him, I said, bro, you lost. You lost bad. Because if you say anything, we on your neck, dog.
That little quote in my head said, "At this moment, you fucked up."
Exactly. And I know he did it because there were, those other white people in the class. They were just like, because the next day they're like, "Oh, Joe was on his ass." I was like, "Joe did it." I said, "That's what I'm talking about."
And
keep your foot on their fucking neck, dog. Like nothing against anybody, but bro, like chill out. Don't force your ideals on us.
I think what it is that that particular person is an older generation white guy. Where the things that he grew up with, he only sees one side of history.
Exactly.
He don't know that it's another side to it that people are aware of and are informed of. He only goes by what the bullshit that they feed you over time as far as the history of America, as far as textbooks and propaganda, but they don't tell you the real story of what things that went down. So maybe in his thinking, he thinking the way he grew up and the things he was taught, because it's so accepted by the country as far as the Star Spangled Banner and all the other bullshit about patriotism, that when he tell the classroom that they just automatically going to accept it without realizing that we are informed. We know the real history of what the shit went down. We know about the War of 1812 and the stanza talking about, if black people helped the English or whatever, that they supposed to be killed or some shit like that. Well, yeah. So we know about that. We informed about that. And I mean, I'm not going to, a lot of people, I'm not going to pass aspersions on that particular person, but a lot of older generation white people, that's why they still don't understand the whole Colin Kaepernick kneeling thing, because they grew up with a certain level of one side of history. They say history is written by those who
by the winners.
Right. So
unless you're the Confederacy.
And the sad part is they lost and people still try to uphold their history like it's the right thing, all Southern heritage or whatever. They lost. Who gives a fuck about that shit?
I saw this video and I fucking died laughing. This is how I know that I'm being worked on as a person, because the people were outside. It was two people. They sounded like they were white. I'm not sure, but they sounded like they were white. But they were like protesting some statue of a Confederate soldier or what have you. This dude pulled over in his truck, like on the side of a 4-lane highway, pulled over in his 18-wheeler, hopped out the truck and was like, all of you goddamn Democrats need to leave this goddamn country. You're not making this country great. If you don't like it, leave. You're taking down our heritage. You're fucking this up. Blah, blah, yada, yada, yada. So the lady was like, sir, why are you so angry? So he was like, because. And it felt good to hear him say that all the Democrats need to leave the country, because usually it's just like towards, minorities, but I'm glad that he's an equal opportunist.
Well, see, that's a code word. That's a new code word for niggas. Is all you Democrats and liberals.
Democrats need to leave this damn country. So as he's walking off, she was like, okay, sir, well, I hope your day gets better. Jesus loves you. And he turns around and he goes, yeah, well, he don't goddamn love your ass. And I fucking do.
That's wild.
So that wasn't the skit?
That's my reaction to people when they react in such a visceral manner. I just be like, bro, you funny, dog. Like, it's so mad.
That's how it goes. It's like people like, yeah, Jesus loves everybody except you. And you like, come on now, ain't you? You can't.
Gonna tell that man who we. Okay, back to my week.
No.
My bad.
I went to court. Child support court. No, I'm joking.
I'm about to say,
What kind of joke is that?
Somebody could have done
I did go to court though on Monday for a speeding ticket. That's why it was funny you was telling your story.
Gotcha.
But see, when I got pulled over, I guess I've been pulled over so many times. I was like, man, do what you got to do. I ain't gonna pose no threat, man. Whatever. I ain't finna argue with you. If you gonna, this the thing I hate. This motherfucker pulled me over, and he was like, first they asked you, do you know why I stopped you and shit? Of course, I'm like, no, why did you stop me? Oh, you were speeding. And he was asked, well, why were you in a rush? What was the rush for? And I'm like, do it matter? You still gonna write me the ticket?
Yeah.
What difference do it make? Hey. So I actually had to go take a shit, but that's why I was speeding. But I wouldn't even tell them that. But I mean, it just to me, I was like,
probably would have worked.
That might get you off.
I would have said
That works though.
I'm gonna tell you, this is what they said. They gonna look at you like,
my tickets.
they was like, yeah, he's sweating, like he really is sweating the car, so he might. Like,
maybe.
yeah.
I was just
I just wanted to get it out. Just like, look, man, just go ahead and write your ticket. Do what you gotta do. I ain't got no warrants. I ain't shit wrong with my record. So do what you gotta do. So anyway, I went to the courthouse Monday, for my little speeding ticket, and I got it dropped to some improper equipment, but it's a $260 fine.
Damn. How much was the ticket?
That's how you do it out
Yeah,
there? No, that's exactly what. I got so many tickets out here.
I paid one.
Yeah, I know why you
ever.
do,
What you
motherfucker.
talking about though?
But I was speeding and shit.
Yeah, loud ass.
Yeah,
race
you do
burner.
be speeding.
Oh, you gotta stop doing like, son. I'm saying this. I'm not even joking right now. As a friend, stop driving like
Putting the
that.
pedal to the metal, dog.
That shit ain't cool, dog.
But I that was my first speeding ticket in like over 10 years. Like that's only like my second ticket, and it's not like he caught me slipping like on some. He was on the side of the road with the radar out. He was on the highway with me. Like I was just going around some slow motherfuckers because I had to go to the crib. He just happened to be on the highway and see me speeding up to go past some people, and he pulled me over. So that's how he got me. Whatever. But I realized something, that this whole court system, well, I've been new it, but I seen it on paper. It's pretty much a business because
Absolutely.
when I seen the paperwork for my fine, and when you pay it shows you a breakdown of when you pay the fine, where the money goes to. It goes like retirement funds for the officers, uniforms, all this other shit that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It's almost like they gotta pull people over, write citations to pay for things. Yeah. So it's like
it was some guys. It was some officers that did like, I don't know if they were officers. I take that back, but there were some people that did like an undercover type operation where they like recorded and videoed like sergeants or whoever in charge of the people on the street. Like they were telling them like, listen, all right, y'all know what the day is. We need to get out. This particular person, I want to say it was up north. I can't remember. I want to say it was up north. This particular guy was like, if all minority males between the ages of 17 and 20, 23 or 24, like stop them, check them to see if they got warrants, blah, blah, XYZ. Like we need to meet these quotas, basically. Like,
see, I guess because I haven't been in the in the courtrroom in so long, I didn't realize.
He's slamming the table.
But when I went in there, and I seen the paperwork for the fine, I saw the breakdown of where the money goes. That's when it kind of hit me like, yo,
Money. America is a business. The whole
everything is for
state.
profit.
Look, he's running
I
this
mean,
shit.
if you can sit there and pay a lawyer to get off of shit, it's a business.
Everything is for profit.
Because if you did something legitimately wrong, there's
That's why
no way you can
this
get
is
out of
random,
it.
But like when people be like, "Oh, well, why they not pouring more money into school systems and blah blah blah?" Because you don't see a return.
Ooh.
That's why I'm not surprised. You don't see a return. You want to see
That's
something
how I
change in
feel.
your
I always
community.
wanted.
You
I
gotta
always
do
wanted to
it.
know. I always wanted to know what goes. To, where's all that money from the education lottery? Where the fuck did all that money go?
My pockets.
Right. Nobody answers that.
Well, you know, the people that officiate, you know, they making 6 and 7, well, 6 figures. They making 6 figures, you know, like Bessie and things
That's
of that
their
nature.
bonuses. It's their education
You know,
lottery.
and they have their criteria for how they decide to distribute funds, which I think is weird in general because they
I've
give more
never
money
won
to
more
the
than
schools.
$20 in the lottery. Fuck them.
They give more money to the.
Fuck y'all kids. I don't care if they
Damn, bro.
read cover books. Like,
They give more money to the schools with the smart kids.
Oh, the
Like
smart kid.
yeah, so like federal funding,
Dumb
right?
kids need money
Like
too.
that's why it's so
Shit.
important for them to pass those tests, and that's why they can justify like docking teachers' pay if they don't pass those tests, because that's how they get their funding based on their test scores, which seems backwards to me because if these kids aren't doing well, then they obviously need some extra help, not less help.
Right.
Yeah, but you see it a lot. Like even when I was in middle school, I transferred districts for a little while, and the district that I transferred to, it was like a really poor area. And I got to the middle school, I'm talking about like old school, no AC, most of the teachers didn't speak English. Like it was just really bad. Like they didn't even have enough to pay teachers to teach advanced classes, which was basically all I took. So when I got there, my mom was like, listen, I'm gonna drive an hour and a half to take you back to the other district because we just not gonna do this.
Right.
The principal called my mom in and was like, listen, we really need your daughter here. So this is what we'll do. She can catch the bus here. Then we'll put her on the high school bus so she can take courses at the high school, and then we'll bus her back so she can catch a bus home. Like that's how much they were willing to work.
Because they needed your grades to boost their
To get
scores.
the money. Yeah.
I see how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's real.
All right. Well, that was my week.
Go ahead, Oz.
He gonna stop doing Osmondo like that, dog.
Why you gotta do me like that, man?
Bro, fuck you. Hurry up.
As soon as it's time to talk, it's bringing
He
you
could be a
down.
bomb John.
Yes,
He could be a John Wick character.
No, he wouldn't.
The ones who get killed?
Yes.
I'd be like, nigga.
Lawrence Fishburne?
Oh shit.
Damn.
Lawrence Fish Grease.
It was so fucking random. I
I don't even know where that came from, but I like it. Wait, what?
Whoa.
Go ahead, bro.
Anyway, my week. Ain't shit happened my week. Alright, next.
Bro.
wait,
That's like every movie that
But
comes
you know
out.
what?
It's
See,
like,
when Keith said, "Don't do Oz like that," this is why we do
I'm
Oz like
trying to
this.
root
It's
for
like,
you.
it's like Bill's the hype, and then this lets you down. I mean, okay, let me talk in
Andrew
general.
Joshua.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. Yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about that.
Yeah, we get into that shit.
We're gonna definitely talk about that.
Please go.
Yeah.
My week was good, you know, had a good time, bad times. Yeah, figured out I didn't get into something I was supposed to.
You know what? Though? And I was rooting for you. I was hoping that you like got that position. You know, it'd have been dope. Like I said, even though it was a detail, it would still been dope.
Yeah,
you know?
I ain't even tripping
but
too much.
look at it like this: that might be a way for you to open up doors, to get into something else.
Yeah.
So
What's for you is for you, for sure.
But other than that, like really didn't do much. Hung out with Nikki a lot.
Why you gotta say a lot like that?
bro, her face is
Don't
hilarious
worry,
right
Nikki,
now.
girl.
But I
Don't
know
worry,
she gonna-
girl. I got you. Why you
Because-
gotta say a lot like that?
Because
I
she was
know
like,
she's gonna have a
That
reaction. That's why I
sounded,
gotta say
maybe
it.
I'm fucked up. It sounded complimentary to me. Like,
No, that was not complimentary
Like,
at
a
all.
lot, like-
No.
It's the tone.
He said
Yeah.
a lot.
It's almost
Like
like
he was annoyed.
Like I didn't want to, but I was
Yeah,
obligated to do
It was
it.
a
I
tone,
didn't have
dog.
I do it to get a rise out of her though.
She
Cause
beat
she
your
need
ass
to
up.
she need to come on.
Bro, you trying to get a rise out of her. You need to be trying to do shit so she can get a rise out of you, motherfucker. Like you gotta stop doing that shit, dog.
That's so good.
Hey, y'all saying woo and shit, but I already did that today.
Oh my goodness!
Why do I always feel uncomfortable when Oz talks like this?
I do too, girl. I be like,
You like, wait, what? why are you doing this? Oh, you know, I'm so sorry that you are always like just in here.
You're subjected to this.
Yeah,
you're a real trooper.
Terrible.
She's the one girlfriend that supports us, and you just be like saying wild, crazy shit.
Listen, you don't see the wild, crazy shit she says to me.
Yeah, but that's all fair.
Yeah.
So I just whatever I'm saying now.
At least you don't make it public.
What I'm saying now is half of what she says to me. Just know that she said the wildest shit.
Okay.
But yeah, everything was good.
That's
Wait, what you say?
Moving on.
Moving on. Yeah, she said keep it moving, bro. Keep it moving. Next subject.
You won't be doing it tomorrow.
or
I don't condone withholding sex. I don't condone it. I'm just
Fish
saying.
grease.
Oh,
Ew, that's just ew.
ew. I hear what that fish sticks.
Crisco disco.
Like, what's that? That's that tartar sauce.
This is your fault.
Why you out here trying to give her that cocktail sauce?
That CPAC Jack.
Trust the Gorton's Tinker Man.
I don't think I want cocktail sauce.
I'm about to say that's dangerous. Ladies, if you're doing that, that's dangerous. Make sure you at least wrap it up.
Some of that coleslaw. Anyway.
Oh, ew. That sounds so
I'm about
disgusting.
to say, you don't want nothing coleslaw consistency coming anywhere.
Bruh, Josh came up with that shit. Come on, give me that coleslaw. I'm like, bro, that shit sounds chunky. Like,
Right.
I
It
want
should not be
that.
chunky. Creamy, but not chunky. That's a lot there.
Oh, she said.
That's a lot.
That'd be nice.
Oh, hi. That was another high note. I got some on Sunday. Woohoo.
Oh my goodness!
You got some win?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Monday.
Hey, you remember like how they do the monster? Remember how they used to do the monster truck shit? Sunday. She got her.
Yeah, bro.
Clapped.
Yeah, bro.
Sunday, come day.
It was definitely awesome. Definitely awesome. I ended up on his shoulders. It was awesome.
Wait.
Whoa.
She going to depth today.
Come on,
You feeling
there's
frisky?
only one thing you can do when you on somebody.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That boy trying to put you on
And it wasn't on purpose. I was trying to like run, but there was nowhere to go but up, and he was like, "Fuck it."
Oh, shit. Hit you in the forklift?
You know,
Oh shit! The forklift.
I can't.
Wait.
I can't do that because
Was she on the changing table? Where's your boy Marcus?
Give me some of that baby gravy.
Ooh, put you in an electric
not that baby
chair.
gravy.
Oh shit, Richard Thorson is watching? What's up?
What's up,
Thorson?
Got it, perfect.
What's going
We was
on?
talking about voice the other day.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't do that because the chicken hit the ceiling.
True. Yeah, you are.
What if the fan was on, right?
Bang her fucking head.
What if the fan was on, right?
Yeah,
Like, it has to be high ceilings. Like the ceiling was too. Never mind. Anyway, it has to be high ceilings.
She was reaching for the sky.
Well, no, I couldn't reach too high, so I had to hold on to his head. Like I couldn't reach. It was too high. Like they're high ceilings.
She was all the way up there.
I wasn't.
All the way up.
She got all the way fucked.
Or whatever they said.
That was long.
Bro, we
That was
on it
damn
tonight.
good.
We on it
That
tonight.
was damn good. That was really good.
Damn, you know what? I just forgot. I gotta tell you how my week was.
Let's get to that before I get to Richard Thorson.
Man, leave Thorson. Yeah, that's my guy.
I gave him some real good advice though, man. He
But
said ting and Tangeray, man. That's how we got the baby, you know.
Oh,
They ain't tried ting and Tangeray.
oh my goodness, not that
Tango.
tangling her.
Tango.
that Tangaline.
Shout out to Thorson, bro.
He was out here tangalizing.
That kind Tangaline.
So, my week was pretty good, man. Shout out to TT. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got to shout out to her too.
So she made this. She been cooking for me. She don't have to, but she does, and I appreciate when she does because that food slap.
I mean, they teach us how to cook down there.
So she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make this fried rice." I was like, "Okay." It's like I'm gonna make a pork chop and a fried rice.
Did she say a pork chop and fried rice?
That's like Chinese.
So it's all fried rice. Not the egg goo young. But
more blue guy pan.
Ooh, Ooh, that loogie pork. You're disgusting. But nah, yo. So she made the fried rice. You nasty, bro. So nah, it was
some
good.
young guy.
See, I hate when he does that. So nah, it was a fried rice. It was just chicken, steak, and like pork, like sausage fried rice, all together with a pork chop and some corn. That shit slapped.
And don't forget the marble cake.
And a marble cake. Well, she ain't making marble cake. She bought it, but it was good as fuck.
It was part of the meal. So
it was good.
I'll give her credit.
Oh yeah, because he got some.
It was good.
She look out for the cookout.
Yeah.
So then the next day, you know what I'm saying? Because I just been spending the night at her crib for like the past couple of days. We'll get to that later.
Oh, what was I saying? What was I saying Tuesday?
What were you saying Tuesday?
I was like, you trying to tear that ass up?
That's very good, dog.
That nigga was wild. He said like 8 things. That was good. Wow, bro.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
You wow. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's very good.
I was like, you trying to clock out so you can break her back out?
Oh! You trying to clock out so you can pull your cock out?
Yo, this nigga said you trying to put in the destination so you can give her that penetration. Bro, you wild.
What the hell?
I'm like, bro, I'm trying to clock out.
That's it.
I'm just trying to go home, dog.
Yeah, dog, what the fuck?
I'm just trying to go home.
Trying to get that town car so you can break her spine hard.
Damn, bro.
We are never gonna make it
All right,
past
my
week
bad.
2,
All right,
dog.
Let's go. We still in after week shit.
I know, right? It's like an hour, dog.
It's an easy title of this episode.
So we was watching Toronto and Golden State game, me and Josh, because they stay in the same complex. So
Right across from me.
and then she was like, she was gonna cook, and she made some Tiara said mute my Oz's mic. I got you, baby. So
that means shit was happening.
right, wow. So she made some stuffed peppers.
Stuff.
Oh shit. Okay.
With the fucking refried beans.
Peppers?
And what was the Cuban egg rolls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bruh.
That shit was slap.
Nice combination.
Let me set it up.
Ooh.
Me. That shit slapped.
Them stuffed peppers was good.
That shit was good as fuck. I'm like, jeez. And the first thing I was like, why the fuck aren't you married? I just look at it like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? Like, how does this happen? I'm lucky as hell. Really lucky. So, shout out to her. She has made, like, the past couple of days, like, probably one of the best couple of days I've had in a long time.
Yeah, I second it because I got some food too.
Shout out.
John, you say
Shout out, dog. Hey, listen.
Some stuffed peppers.
Ain't nothing like being the best friend that benefits.
Exactly.
Relation. I feel you on that, dog. Yeah.
So you keep on stuffing her peppers, guys. Give
I
her
can
that
get-
jalapeno.
That sounds like it hurts.
Is
That
it
crunch
spicy?
bonnet pepper.
Okay,
Some
funny
of that
story.
sliding pepper.
Speaking of jalapenos.
Wait, what?
Shit.
What? Oh, here you got a story to tell. I
You
feel
got
a story.
that. What else? Did you
Story
get a
time.
hot, spicy, sticky
Bro,
load?
so he was in college and they always had fight at the club in college, but they would spray pepper spray.
Oh,
yeah.
So when he got home, he showered, but apparently not long enough.
Oh.
Right? So we were laying down, we're, making it do what it do, and like a couple minutes into it, like my entire face is like burning up. Like from my mouth on up, like it's burning up, right? And then like there's like a like that peppermint sensation. There was a peppermint sensation. And I was like, what the fuck?
Not like your peppermint patty sensation.
Bro. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
She's like, every time I'm sucking that dick, I get a cooling sensation.
You know they call it, right?
Okay, bro.
Call it that Brock's crotch.
That's crazy.
Orbits.
Dirty mouth. Not yet. It will be.
Anyway, so yeah, that was it.
I had to do it.
That's crazy.
I had to do it.
Yeah, I can.
So,
I can
You
understand why.
selfish. First of all, you done had me suck your dick and you ain't even wash it good. Like, what the fuck? Okay,
That's worse.
Oh, that's why.
Hold on. I gotta ask.
like, the spray was still there.
Did you choke the gag whatever?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
No.
Wait. How
You
much?
felt good as well. Like, yeah, I got her gagging. I just going for it.
I
Look at her eyes all watering and shit.
Yeah, I know. I was old. I tried to tell you, girl.
It was
I'm not
not
gonna
okay.
say
It's
that.
got long dick.
Okay, go ahead. Your whole face was burnt, but
Yeah, like my that's why my face was burning. Like it was just too much.
If you'd have ate the box, you'd have been over.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, we would have had to fight.
oh man, at least it was a pepper spray though.
Yeah, it was
That was
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we both had to get in the shower immediately. And then he was like, so we gonna finish in the shower? And I was like, nah, nigga, you going to bed. Like, you selfish, dog. The fuck? Nah.
You should at least
Trying to raw you with pepper spray dick?
Selfish as fuck, dog.
Nasty ass nigga.
That crotch bomb.
You gotta really get
So
into
fucking
it.
selfish, dog.
That's that habanero.
Alright.
Good old college days. Sean, what you got going on?
Oh, nothing. Trying to figure out what happened to my live feed.
Oh.
Oh
We
shit.
can still see it.
No, on YouTube, but he's on Facebook.
I'm talking about
Okay.
Facebook.
Are you, is that all your week or you had somewhere?
Nothing really after that. Just me and old lady hanging out. Yeah, that's always just the highlight of my week. So just hanging out with her, chilling, just doing regular, relationship shit. That's always fun. Like, why not? You know what I'm saying?
You are so relationship ready. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh, I wonder if I'll ever be
I
there.
can't do anything from here.
Cause it's good. There we go.
Take some time.
Listen.
Okay.
I told my friend that's married, I was like, yeah, you know what worries me? Like, what if I just decide, like, I don't want to do this no more? Like, I'm good. Like, nah, dog.
Doesn't look like that.
I mean, I can still go, but, like, dang, we already promised forever to each other. Like, that's a lot of pressure. I can't even commit to a mortgage. I sweated. Listen, I sweated when I signed my 5-year car payment contract, dog.
You don't want to refinance? I know what. Like,
Hey, bro,
that
can I
shit.
get like some? I mean, what? Like, can I trade it in for a 28 or a 2020? Like, what's up? Like, but I'm growing.
So, now, this is one thing I do. I mean, since I'm done talking about my week and all this shit. This is one thing I want to start off with just to get it out of the way. It's lighthearted, simple, whatever it is. Your boy, Anthony Joshua.
Oh yeah.
For people who did not see that shit, I watched that whole fight, right?
I did.
Now, it was a good fight. I mean, nothing against, look, shout out to, what's his name, Ruiz?
Yeah, I think Anthony Ruiz.
Andy or Anthony?
Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, Anthony Ruiz. Or Ruiz, or how you pronounce it, I guess. I would think Ruiz. But, shout out to him, because he did an awesome job. He did what he was supposed to do. And I was asking my homeboy about him. He's like, nah, that motherfucker, he really been fucking people up. He looks so he makes regular body, like, not even regular body, like, out of shape body motherfuckers have hope. Like, that nigga.
No, but that's the thing people don't understand. Like, if you're really super cut, you're not strong. Because you are dehydrated.
Deontay Wilder that nigga's cut up, too.
But he's a fucking freak of nature.
Yeah.
If you lift weights, all right, look at the strongest man in the world, competition, the competition, they just throwing bullshit over their heads. And
Yeah, them niggas big as
them niggas
shit.
is fat as fuck because that's where all your power comes from.
Yeah, they core.
But-
they core power.
If you got all kind of rips and muscle, that's for show.
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening?
It worked out, though.
If you fucking
Like he's Asian
That
before
nigga deflated or something.
fucking chances
The drops
dropped.
have spoken.
That does not like you.
Nah, but like what's the real shit? Like it's like if you're super cut, that's just muscles for show. That's
Of
why you
course.
don't never see all these Mr. Universes, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
pageants. Niggas in like wrestling and shit. But motherfuckers that fight got guts and shit because that's your strength. Your strength comes in your core. Like from your ground. You don't got to show your muscles like, yeah, just look at these muscles. They're soft as fuck, but they're here. I'm
I
ripped.
mean, when it comes to Anthony Joshua, the motherfucker, he was undefeated.
Yeah.
The motherfucker, he's been knocked down plenty of times. I don't feel like he wanted to fight. for some reason, bro. Cause
I think he looked past Buddy.
Wait, so I take it he lost?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
When I say he lost, it wasn't. It wasn't a knockout, but it was just not a good way to lose.
It was a
you know
beatdown.
Yeah.
It wasn't even necessarily like a bad beatdown because he looked like he was all right. He got knocked down like 4 times.
That last time though, he looked a little.
He looked a little dizzy, but he was like.
That's boxing. Any given day.
Yeah.
You know, any given day, any given fight.
I mean, this goes down as probably one of the. Goes in the top worst upsets in boxing. That's an upset.
So people.
Well, it's probably.
Oh,
Vegas lost a lot of money.
They lost a lot of money.
Vegas lost a lot
That
of money.
doesn't happen often.
Exactly. Because nobody expected Buddy to win.
Yeah.
He's the first Mexican.
He was like an 11-1
that's awesome.
odds, like 11-1.
So whoever bet on him.
I'm about to say they
So
cleaned up.
Mexicans came up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Mexicans do not, they support they fucking
He's
fight.
the first Mexican heavyweight champion in boxing history.
So
That's
it's
awesome.
a Mexican that made like $1 million that weekend.
Yep. So their debt is paid off. Like Mexico, they're good. Their debt is all the way paid off.
Saying all this wild shit.
That's
You gonna tell the Mexicans going back across the border. Dude, hey, where y'all going?
I want to keep
Y'all think it's the immigrant
I need my
because
goddamn-
Vegas just lost so much goddamn money.
I'm going back home.
Yeah, like, I need my grass cut. Where you going?
He's like, I am going back home. Fuck your man.
You gonna see a lot of houses on
Sound like a
Charlotte.
Cuban.
Exactly.
Fuck your man, man. I'm going back home.
You want to see the whole fucking Central Avenue in Charlotte just on sale. Everything gotta go.
That's fucked up.
Central Avenue is known as Little Mexico.
Yeah, it is.
They out. They're like, yeah, we made our bread, we out of here. You'll see a bunch of avalanches with 24s on them, with a Nike sticker on the window, and a picture of the Virgin Mary on the side. Leaving Charlotte like, we out.
Ain't gonna be no more pickup trucks in Charlotte.
They're gonna have spinning rims on the back, not on the front.
That's ignorant.
Hey, I want to keep it on the sports since we started off. What does everybody think about the? Well, we come to find out, it was a part owner of the Warriors reaching out and shoving Kyle
Yeah, he was
Lowry.
an investor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, he's banned for
He's
like
banned.
a year.
he banned for a year.
Yeah, and he had to pay like a couple
who was
of
it?
or some shit.
When we was watching the game, remember when Kyle Lowry got mad because that fan
Yeah.
shoved him?
Yeah.
That fan ended up being a minority owner of the Warriors.
Yeah, he's an investor.
Oh.
Yeah. And he basically reached over. Okay, if people don't know. Kyle Lowry went for a loose ball. He was going out of bounds. He ran into a lady in the crowd. The lady, braced for the impact or whatever, and she kind of gave him a pat on the back, like, it's okay, you guys, and whatever. It was a Caucasian gentleman, a couple seats over.
My cousin.
Went out of his way to reach over and shove Kyle Lowry for no
He didn't have to
reason.
reach.
Well, he probably gave him the battle rap shove, like, oh, good game.
No.
No.
He was like,
That's
you see
bars,
his body
nigga.
language, like, he was like,
You gotta grab your shirt,
and the
like,
funny
oh,
part is, it looked like he
nigga.
tried really hard,
Yeah.
but Kyle's body didn't really move.
Yeah.
Like, so,
Yeah.
He moved, he was like,
So he started talking shit.
He started talking shit after he pushed it.
yeah.
So Kyle Lowry proceeded to tell and he handled it great. He could have went
Yeah, because
Ron Artest on his ass,
I'm about
but
to
he
say,
didn't.
Russell Westbrook, that would have been
Well,
it.
Russell Westbrook, he's had moments where he's like, yo, chill out.
Yeah.
He told Buddy, I fucked you up.
He's like, yo,
But
I'll beat you
I
and
feel like-
your wife ass.
Yeah, he did say that.
I felt
these
that.
new generation
He did say that.
NBA dudes, they know, like, yo, I got a lot to lose. Like,
Right.
especially Kyle Lowry, like, nigga, like,
But
Bro, this is my
you're not gonna
moment.
start a team no more. Like, I'm not
this
gonna
is
fuck
my
up.
moment.
They need me for this championship, yo. Like,
but I was looking at a couple of sports segments and they were talking about it, and a lot of course black athletes, former players, especially like Steven Jackson, was saying, if you wouldn't do this to this man out in the street,
Don't do it here.
don't do it here. You only did it because you know he can't retaliate. Really, you know what I'm saying? You feel safe in your little privilege.
Listen, and if you're
Arena.
rich enough,
Right, but you seen him at the grocery store, you wouldn't go out your way to put your hands on
it's
this man.
not what I say about people at work. Like, yo, don't talk to me crazy because I gotta see you in food line at some point.
Right.
And I'm gonna beat you with a bag of fucking bread, and then I'm the bad guy. Because you want to talk shit at my job.
can it be a baguette so it can have
Yeah,
some?
bro.
Honest to God, son. Honest to God, just yesterday.
What happened now?
Dude came to my job, like, he mad, like, he driving his truck in. We telling him, yo, you can't bring this truck in. Your number's fucked up. Your appointment is gone. You gotta get a new appointment. To me, he's speaking with the utmost respect. Because he know, like, nigga, I'll fight you. Like, this job don't make or break me. But he got to the white people that came out, cause, like, it's like TSA. you get in some shit, you go get your manager. Hey, it's above my head. Fuck this. I'm not, cause
it's above me now. That's what you tell them.
Ain't that some new shit on Facebook? I be seeing.
It's a video. We gotta explain it.
Yeah, we'll talk
about
that
shit. But I'm like, all right. I just had this paper. He gonna ignore me. I'm like nigga, like I'm a nigga too. Like I'll fuck you up, son. So I just want to get the people ahead of me. Like, yo, go talk to this dude. He's talking about he not leaving. Blah blah blah. All right. And like they're supposed to come and like, hey sir, blah blah blah. And once they get irate, it's like, all right, fuck it, go call security gonna call whatever, and they're gonna make him leave or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're going back and forth with him, and I'm like, I'm a nigga. You don't go back and forth with niggas. That's gonna make him, especially he know y'all little small and old white people. He like, yo, I'll fuck all y'all up. Like he told him like, yo, I'll fuck y'all up.
Damn.
And they came up like, oh, call security or something. I'm like, he didn't say that to me.
I ain't call security.
Because he know I'm about the shits. I'm with the shits 100%. He know y'all not with the shits, and y'all gonna go call security.
You know what?
I'm gonna invite him like, hey, it's not but space and opportunity.
Let's get out the way of the cameras.
You know what? That remind me of the first season of ATL when the white dude used to be telling that story and he be saying nigga to Donald Glover.
Yeah,
and they went somewhere else. He's
else.
like, when he tell you that story, did we say nigga around you? He's like, hell no, he know better than that.
Yeah,
nigga trying
that shit.
And I had this fat dude apologize to me because he came at me stupid, like, oh, this is not to do that. And I didn't get mad. I just looked at him like, son, you know, like, chill out. Like, I just looked at him like, walked away, would go get his paperwork, came back. He was like, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come at you like that. It's not your fault. But yeah, I'll fuck you up. So, like, I really will fuck you up. Like, chill out. Like, and you know me, so you've never seen me blank.
No, actually, I haven't.
Cause I don't, son. Like, I'd rather let you know. Like, I just look at you like, son, like, chill out. You know I'll fuck you up. Like, chill out. Like, you can see it in my eyes. Like, I'll fuck you up.
And like in my experience, like working in customer service, I never have issues with the women. Like, if they come in and they have an attitude, it's not directed towards me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't catch an attitude with me. They have it when they come in. But it's the men. Like, when I worked in Sherwin-Williams, there it was just men in general. Like, it was the men. Even when I worked as a hostess at the last restaurant I worked at, it was the men. Like, and I
feel like you're a woman.
But you got me fucked up because at Sherwin-Williams, I will politely put your ass outside and call the cops. No, sir? I throw 5-gallon buckets of paint around in the back. Don't do that. It's too many weapons in here. Don't play with me, and my boss gonna back me up.
You're not about to fight over this fucking magenta paint. Like,
don't forget, right? Don't try to. And like when I worked at the restaurant, this man he walked up to me, dog. He didn't get his coffee with his dessert. This is why he was upset. Yeah. He proceeded, excuse me.
Oh, he put his hands on you?
But that's
sir! I looked at him, I said, sir, I don't know if you know, but that is tantamount to assault, and I will press charges. Please don't touch me.
Man, you handled that very differently than I would.
Don't touch me.
And this is the thing.
Don't fucking touch me, dog.
It's because you're a black woman, and the shit that hurt my feelings when I hear, when people, and especially black women, they be like, oh, black women are the most disrespected and the most unprotected. And that shit hurt my feelings because, like, I don't play that shit. Like, just today at lunch, we went to fucking Wendy's.
God damn, what happened?
And the dude was like, we at Wendy's chilling, and, you know, I'm getting my little flirt on with her. I'm cute, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on? And she was like, and the dude told her, oh, don't take no more orders because I guess it was crowded. And she was like, oh, what's your order? I'm like, all right. And he came at her like, oh, then I said don't take no more orders. I'm clocking you out and just wilding out on her in front of everybody. She was like, yo, you don't have to talk to me like that in front of everybody. And I was about to go, but I'm like, I don't want to make it worse. Because I would be like, yo, don't talk to her like, I don't like seeing people just disrespected. I feel like he disrespected her, and especially she was black and cute. I would just slap the nigga in the face. It was like some old white dude.
Oh,
and I would tell her, I was like, yeah, did I get you in trouble? She like, nah, you good. Just not
That's just bad leadership.
I'm like, that's just had me hurt. So I'm like,
get your number so I can take you out.
I've learned to speak that language, though. I will quickly say I feel harassed. I feel that this is a hostile environment. Okay,
like,
I've read over the handbook.
I mean, it was crowded too, and he got loud as fuck. And I was like, and I just got, because, you know me, I got all sisters and a niece and everything. Like, I don't want them to go through that, but he was coming, I was like, I was boiling fucking hot. So I was like, I want to say something, but it's not going to end.
I would have called
positively.
But I feel like when it's like that, like, I feel like they're trying you, especially when it's somebody
they want you to, fuck you.
Yeah, that's what they want you to do.
And she handled it so
cool. That's what they want you to do.
I was like, I hope she pulled him to the side like, don't you ever fucking talk to me like that. I'll call all my cousins up here.
Listen, I don't want to put aspersions on white people, but this is just my experience. I've never
before you.
Before.
Okay.
Those men. What were their racial tag?
Oh, you said they were old white.
Yeah,
old white men.
Well, at Sherwin-Williams,
you talking about her?
at Sherwin-Williams, they spanned. But at the restaurant I was at, it was an upscale restaurant, and it was an older cousin.
I was at Wendy's, nigga.
Well, hold on. I want to say
saving them.
I'm not going to put this generalization on all white people, all white men, or whatever. But I'm gonna say this: in my experience, my 36 years here on Earth, I've hardly ever seen a white guy or woman or whatever try a black person out in public just on some straight up one-on-one fight, argue, whatever. They most of the time they always try you at work because they feel like you can't retaliate because you don't want to lose your you don't want to lose your job. And
the mistake there is
people like that motherfuckers don't give a fuck.
Respect and pride above everything.
Just like when remember we talked about the black chick who was over a straw or something at McDonald's.
Yeah, she beat the nothing out that man too.
But and another thing to my Caucasian brothers and sisters, something black people don't do.
Why the fuck you become so politically correct?
I love it though. You know what? I like it.
Because we trying to build a fan base. I don't want to disrespect nobody. You know?
White people fuck up. They blame us when we fuck up.
I'm gonna tell y'all one thing that I've noticed that a lot of white people do that black people don't do. Y'all always like to touch people. When you talk to them,
bro, stop that.
Yeah, stop. Keep your hands to yourself.
That shit not okay.
Let me
just randomly touching people.
Let me say something.
Boundaries.
9 years, well, more than 9 years, but my whole time at TSA, one thing I know, and I used to tell you all the time, white men can't stand to be told what to do. I don't care. Yeah. They can't stand that shit. You like, sir, take your shoes off. I got it. I know what to do. The hitchhiker to walk through with his shoes off. I'm like, didn't I tell you to take your shoes off? They can't stand it. Oh, I forgot. No, shut up. I told you already.
I wonder if that's I don't know. I wonder if it's a subconscious superiority thing because, especially with the touching thing. Because I feel like I went to Nashville at one point and it was like a black area, whatever. We were out and this dude came up and he like put his arms around us, me and my friend, and he was like, "Hey, Ebony and Ivory," and I was like, "Sir, can you not touch me?" He flipped the fuck. I was like, "Sir, are you mad because I asked you not to touch my being?"
Right.
Black
people respect space. We know if you get within a certain space, either something we don't know what's about to pop off.
You know why we do that? Because we want to know we have enough space so shit do pop off.
Crack you in your shit.
Well, they don't understand that. That's why you ever notice like most white people get fucked up real quick. Like, yeah, bro.
Yeah, at work, I work around certain white coworkers who I
know exactly who the fuck you talking about.
Even through casual conversations, they feel like they have to touch you while they talking to you. Like, bro, no, stop.
I mean,
why are you touching me?
It could be like
it's a cultural difference.
Yeah, because like for one, I see when they do it to other white women.
Yeah, it's a cultural difference.
Thing.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like they take it, and it's like they think they can come and do it to a black person. It's the same thing, and it's like,
nah, they should know.
White men
we don't play that shit.
Love black women. They hate black women. Don't love them. They can't stand that shit, you know. They can't stand that shit.
For some reason, that kind of...
And once again, I don't want to generalize things, but...
I'm generalizing.
How does that sound right now?
It's the truth, son. Like, white men love black women.
They look so uncomfortable,
They can't stand when a black woman don't like them. That's the truth.
That podcast is not...
You might be right, though.
I'm telling you the truth, man. I'm not making this shit up, son.
Disclaimer.
Allegedly.
Just
throw out allegedly out.
No, for one thing, everybody.
Hold on. So which part's alleged?
I'm just gonna throw it out there just in case.
You know what's funny?
Okay, so are you saying that historically in real life?
I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying.
Wait.
I'm just throwing the word allegedly.
Wait. Think about it. You know what's funny?
I agree with y'all.
Everybody love black women.
I agree with y'all.
Everybody want to look like black women. Everybody want to be shaped like black women. No, I don't know. Nobody don't want a fat ass and nice lips and
big
fucking
titties and all that shit. Yeah, and curly hair and tan skin.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's why the beaches is full. I never say white people like, I'm not going to the beach this summer.
I'm gonna say it right now. That's definitely facts.
No, I agree with that.
I remember one time.
I have to say the word allegedly just in case.
Who fucking to sue us?
Everybody know that. No, it's not about suing us.
It's international fact.
Somebody got to say it.
We got it.
Yeah, somebody got to say it. Shit, I don't want to scare white people. I'm not trying to scare white people away from us. God damn it.
The fan base likes reality. Put it like this. Right? I went on vacation. Shit. And it was one of those vacations where, you know, I'm with family. So I have about 4 or 5 family. I have 4 or 5 nieces with me, you know what I'm saying? And they're all like, you know, they're only like 18 years younger than me, right? So it's a resort, and it's like basically there really is no black males there, and all white men. So we have to club on the resort. Mm-hmm. So it was interesting to me that they didn't know who I was, but I was just around, you know, 4 or 5 of my relatives. Yeah. He don't know the relationship. Yeah. So I would just like, I would say, okay, I'll be back. Check on y'all, right? Because, you know, resorts can be dangerous. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's Costa Rica. It looks nice. It looks nice, but DR, I like danger, but you can't leave women alone. Yeah, generally speaking.
Joe, I like danger.
I do like danger. I wasn't DR. I went to the hood with Keisha last time at the DR. Yeah, and I like the resort, but I wouldn't say a woman should be there by themselves.
No, of course not.
So basically, when I was there, it's like they would stay away from them, right? So when I came back, right, they was all over them. As soon as I walked in the door,
scattered
like
the light switch.
You know what's funny? That's like I have a lot of white friends, right? Yeah. And look, shut up. Anyway, it's like all the guys though that I talk to and stuff, it's like they always wanted to try to date a black girl. And no, not even like that. They were just like, man, I tried talking to this black girl, but it's like she just turned me down and all this stuff.
Bro, let me tell you, to all my white cousins out there, I can't speak for every black woman, but I'm gonna tell you what turned me off from the dude that I almost dated. He ain't had no rhythm. I couldn't do it.
I think that's what it is though.
I couldn't fucking do it.
That's really what it is.
I was really worried.
But
the funny part is the main guy that I date now, he also does not have rhythm, but it doesn't turn me off.
Because he's black.
Because he's black, so it is a race thing. However, as a black woman, I take full advantage of these white men that wish they had or would have had or what have you. I take the free coffees. I take the free gas. I take the you can get in front of me's because I know you trying to look back there. That's fine. My boss, I used to tell his ass off every day, should have been fired. I know the reason I didn't get fired was because he wanted me. And I'm okay with that.
Oh, they out here looking.
Take advantage of that shit.
Yeah, I'm going to take full advantage.
They looking at your Yeeks and your Yammers.
When my friend was going in for medical school interviews, like, one of the doctors, he was like, listen, he was like, I know we in this age where everybody is supposed to be equal and all this other stuff. He was like, but when you walk into that place, if you know who you're interviewing, if it's a man, especially a white man, you need to have on a skirt. It needs to be form-fitting. Like, because, I mean, that's what, they let you in their school if they like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the truth about it.
I think back what Ajay was saying, you know.
That's a little bit, go ahead.
I think black women, black women fuck with black men more so on the vibe and natural chemistry we have coming, as black people. Whereas a lot of
that shit put a shiver down her spine.
Listen, there is nothing better than just be laying there and you see the different brown tones next to each other. That shit's sexy as fuck.
But when I think this is my thoughts. Yeah. I think a lot of black women might fuck with white men because they can get something out of it. It's not because of, I'm feeling him, a vibe or chemistry.
What I found is, this is just me, for the women that I know that have dated outside of their race, it's because the experiences that they've had within their race have just been very negative.
That too.
And so when they meet that person outside of their race, it's such a positive experience that they just don't want to go back. Yeah, that's what I found personally.
I mean, I've seen the same thing even when it comes to some of my homeboys.
Like,
you know, some of these dudes too. So it's like I get it. Do I agree with it? Not really, but I get it. I mean, I can be empathetic to your situation.
Me personally, I've seen some white women that I'm semi-attracted to, at the job.
Where white women at?
But to me, it ain't nothing like a sister. I just can't give it up.
I guess when it comes to the opposite side, like you always hear, like women are like, oh, black men, they don't want white, they fuck with every other race but us, yada 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 yada, XYZ. And you do see that a lot. However, you don't get that same energy when the shoe's on the other foot. Like when black women date outside of their race, it's all support, it's all love, it's all good. So a lot of times when I hear my friends say that, I'm like, so y'all complaining about the athletes, the lawyers, the doctors that are dating outside their races, but You don't be trying to be in the gym with these niggas when they sleeping on their mama's couch.
Yeah,
so
and it's funny. It's like a lot of people are like, especially artistic black people.
Yeah,
like,
that's how they start.
Donald Glover.
That's how. So that's my thing. Like if you was with this man from the bottom to the top, sis, you earned him. Like you earned him. I'm not mad at that because I wasn't gonna do it. So
no, just one of my homeboys. I mean, he said himself. He's like, I tried dating black women all day, every day. Yeah, they just weren't into me, and I was like, huh. They weren't.
The women that he dated, yeah.
I mean, he's not a bad looking dude. He's a very nice guy. They just didn't have the same interest, and he.
But he probably went
up to the wrong one. Her brother is just.
He might have, but I don't know. But I mean, he's married now, so it doesn't even matter. So he's good.
But like that's the thing. It's like, and that's one thing I noticed. Black women would let a white boy be a square, but won't fuck with a black dude that's a square. Like,
true indeed.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're a square black dude,
you gotta have some street
blacks, you gotta be like.
Hey, y'all better stop that.
And you know what's funny?
But at the same time, niggas be fucking with.
Let me tell you,
ratchet white girls. They see a ratchet black girl, like, oh, that ratchet.
Them square niggas.
Only thing square white bitch got gold teeth on all her teeth. Molars.
You know what's funny though?
I got gold teeth on her fucking.
What's funny though is like the reason why they kind of like changed the alternative to like more towards like white women is because like there's more white women in America that's gonna probably fit your stereotype than there is probably black women.
Cause they're poor like us.
I mean, like let's say you like a square or some shit like that, right? Like you're gonna find a whole bunch of square white women, and then we're black women. You're not gonna find as much. You know what I'm saying? Square black women. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What's your definition of square?
You think so differently. Like it's so cool.
No, seriously.
No, it's an interesting point.
Well, we're not. If I didn't know that. That's not.
I mean, I think. Okay, you're talking about like say artsy people.
Yeah.
You might, my friends who are artsy, they might be more around more Caucasian women, which would make them more like if you're talking about Amda or Juilliard.
Yeah.
It's gonna be around more like women in general.
Would
like if you're but it's a lot of pieces to this, right?
Yeah.
Generally speaking, of all women, of all women around the world, the most loyal, if you want to use that word, women to their race, has always been black women. It's only recently that before it was very rare to see a black woman with a white male with children. With them for real.
Yeah, it was a
rare
black guy.
It was a uniform. You see black men with everybody, right? So it's like generally they've been very loyal. Now you have a scenario where you kind of want to expand their horizons, and sometimes you might have you could have a better experience.
Nothing in there.
And with that one individual, particularly, but I've seen people that. With white men that might take more from the white male. They might take more nonsense.
This one thing.
Right? I've seen that as well.
I wish the hell I would.
No, but I'm telling you. They sit down with me, tell me stories. They take more than they would from a black dude. Sometimes, like their tolerance level is higher. Sometimes it's about
they probably feel like they could beat that motherfucker's ass. So
it's about taking like if they fuck with them or leave them or whatever. They'll have more resilience to stay with that man, but I've seen it all. Like Keisha's family, right? She had none of her father, her uncles, none of them are with black women at all. So it's like I was like, how does that resonate with you, right? Because like no male that raised her is with a black woman, period. So and then you have the idea that you see that. And then maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. I mean, I feel like everybody should love everybody. It's like if you get devoid of I don't like niggas. I don't fuck with white dudes now. That's bullshit to me.
Yeah.
If you legitimately fall in love,
right?
Like I had this shit before. Like I always thought, before when I was younger, that automatically white women had nothing in common with me, right? Just off the top. Until I was like, one day it was like a friend of my niece's. We was talking. And I didn't give her a time of day because I was like, she could not have anything in common with me just because she couldn't think like me, like nothing resonated. But actually, she did, and we dated. So I was like, sometimes you can have. I did. Sometimes you can. I like you have a lot of spiritual stuff, a lot of stuff that I'm into. It was actually like. In common.
White shit?
A lot of, but
yeah,
I feel like
white shit. They a couple white shit.
whatever you're doing, you can hear it.
It is. it's interesting, but
I can hear it.
You know, people shouldn't be judged who they date. I just feel like you should date people legitimately for the person, not for the status of what you think is better.
Yeah, that's the only way to work.
I feel like it's the intent that's important, and I say this on both sides. Like that's why I say I'm not offended when someone's if I see a black man that generally dates white women, because I don't know what arena he's in. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know his experiences or whatever. I get offended when I hear, "Oh, I don't fuck with black women because they yada yada," and you have all of these negative.
Right.
That's the part that bothers me.
I agree.
Because I don't subscribe to that on any level, whether that be gender wise, racially, whatever. Yeah. I don't subscribe to that. I don't, because I don't want to be generalized. Right. So.
I agree. I don't mind when people, you know, I don't mind the interracial dating thing, but don't put down your own people just to highlight the reason why you're doing interracial dating.
Right. That's my problem.
Wrong. I don't like that.
I don't like when chicks be like, I just want to fuck John because he's got a big dick. Like, I do, but relax.
Allegedly.
Yo, dog.
That's the name of the episode.
Or whatever.
You gotta put the whole thing. I got a big dick. Allegedly.
Y'all wild, son.
Yo, I mean, a lot, but I mean, a lot of dudes that date white women, they do use that exclusionary stuff. I hate when I hear it.
Yeah, that's the part that I don't like.
Who they be with is like.
That's the part I don't like. Because then a lot of times the women that you with,
man.
They mouthy too. What did you talk?
Come on, man.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Like I saw a friend of mine. He posted a picture and his shirt said "Black women only," and he was like, I just wanted to know, like, it was in his profile picture. He was like, before I post this, he did a disclaimer, you know, like, I'm not trying to offend anybody or whatever. I'm just trying to ride for my black queens, yada, 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 XYZ, blah, 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 blah. So I was speaking to someone who is also African-American, and he was like, well, I can understand how that would be offensive. And I was like, really? You know, why? And he was just like, well, I mean, when you say only, it's like exclusive. And I was like, so? And he was like, well, no, because he was like, I was like, so? He was like, so, I mean, that can be offensive. And I was like, I don't think so. And the only reason I say that is because I date men only. Are women offended because they're excluded?
Some of them might be.
That's not my problem.
I mean, they trying to get them Yeeks and Yammers too.
But here's what I'm saying. Like, it's not the exclusion, in my opinion, that is offensive for me. It's the reason behind the exclusion.
Of course.
If you're simply just attracted to African American women, then there's no issue with that. Now, if you say black women only because white women is this, Hispanic women is this, Asian, then you got a problem.
He's black, right?
He is black, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
No, ain't nobody got a problem with that.
You know what's funny? Like, before I dated a white woman in my life, right? I went out, and I suppose that, like, who do you think would be the most offended by seeing a black man with a white woman?
Black man with a family.
I mean, just regular people.
Well, you said I've seen a black woman with a
like
white man.
like if you go out walking around, you go out dating. Who do you think would find them more offensive?
Black woman.
See, that's what I thought. But honestly, white men were more offended.
No, they definitely are.
Particularly, like, they would stop, they would stare.
No, they mad if you got a bad one. If they got a disgusting, I'm like, oh, we don't want her.
Same thing for black women.
Yeah.
But we don't care.
Yeah, but then there's always a skinny white dude that's gonna get her too.
I mean, black women would look a certain way, but the comments from white men were surprising.
Oh, did you get the, are you okay? Did you get a lot of those?
Is
like,
he trying to rob you?
No, like just staring and whispers like, well, as long as it fits. Like, what as long as it fits. Shit like that. We get a lot of that. Like, I was kind of surprised that.
What fits?
They mean it don't matter how big it is as long as it fits.
Oh shit! Oh my goodness!
These things that I heard, right?
Trying to fit this with the thickness.
So I was a little bit surprised by who reacted the worst. So,
I feel like in their mind that's the inferiority of, you know, I probably don't measure up.
Sometimes
you know.
wait, those guys are weird. Some of them like that shit though. I mean, you got the whole
Oh
BBC
yeah,
stuff.
Cuckolding.
Cuckolding,
yeah.
Like,
no. I mean, again, that's everything is true, right? Even when I went to hedonism, right? And you know, it's a new resort. It's mostly white men, white couples. You know, in that resort, it's like all good. Like they'll let their wives get fucked by somebody black. It don't matter. But I'm talking about like in that world, all that shit is real. Like I've seen it with my own eyes. Like yeah, they let a BBC fuck their wives. And then
British broadcasting
the next day it's all good with the wife. So.
I seen that who's participating with white couples.
Yeah,
like they just approach them out of
work with someone that
it's true.
Used to do all that.
It's what it is.
I think subconsciously when black people see a white,
I don't know.
When they see a black man,
I already talked about it.
With a white woman, I think subconsciously some people think, she only with him because he got a big dick, and vice versa. I think that when people see a black woman with a white man, they think, she only with him because he got money. You know what I'm saying?
Credit.
They don't think about it as
that's what they think about it. That's what she first said.
True.
Whatever she said, that's exactly what they thought.
Yeah. That's
I need that 2015 Maserati.
Trying to get that promotion.
No, we've been this for a minute.
Yeah. Y'all ready to talk about the sad stuff? Not the sad stuff, the informative stuff.
Let's see. We got about 20. Yeah, we can get about 20, 25 minutes of that. That's cool. Let's do that.
Miss Ava DuVernay and When They See Us.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw the first. I haven't finished watching the first. That's 4 episodes. I'm at the third. I'm halfway through the 3rd episode, and it's pretty. I mean, for me watching it, I've seen like pieces of documentaries talking about it, but when I seen how the story fleshed out, the way she told the story,
Mike Miller, what's up, G?
that shit was like, it really hits you hard. Like, I mean, it's just. And the crazy part is they showed a clip of Donald Trump when he put out an 85,000 ad, really calling for the death penalty for them boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't never plan on watching it, and that's why I'll probably like just let it stream so they get I'm tired of seeing stuff that remind me my country don't fuck with me. Like I'm 40 years old. I've known that. I was alive when all that happened when it was going on. I remember that shit. I remember seeing it on the news and everything like that. Like, I don't need more reminders that my country that I fought for don't fuck with me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to never be like, oh, everything's good. Like, I know everything's not good. I just don't need more. I don't need that in my entertainment.
I would say upon watching it, and, you know, like I said, I'm the exact same age as the boys the men in the movie. And I was very affected by the whole environment of being a black male of that age at that time. Out in New York City in the late 80s, and I can say that it was great. It's a wonderful story. It's gut wrenching, but it's wonderful at the same time, and it shows families and really the strength of women in the families, the strength of definitely. Under extreme circumstances, and you can't even write a better story than that. And what always intrigued me about the story is that, you know, these boys didn't know each other before that moment.
Except 2 of them.
Besides 2 of them, but of the 5, and then they rounded up hundreds of boys though, but they only kind of because you have boys who might have a parent in the police department or a corrections officer, so you're not gonna fuck with them, or boys that have parents that know the law in and out, so you ain't gonna fuck with them. So they isolated 5 people and created a story around them, and you saw how they manipulated the story, even though all of the evidence leaned toward a single assailant, right? So now these boys serve time. The boy that was 16, Corey Wise, who I met all of them. I went to an event about 5 years ago when Ed Burns did the documentary called Central Park 5. And they were all there on the Diaz, and they were, I met them. I felt like I grew up with them because, like Yusuf Salaam's mother, who battled cancer, and all these parents who were there struggling, and when everybody and most people thought they were guilty, You know, even my friends, I would debate them. Oh, they guilty because, you know, they were in the park and they did this, and you know how those people are out there. I debated people of all races on this topic. Mm-hmm. So to see that somehow this person who's a serial rapist somehow had a mind change to confess somehow, some way, that he didn't die in prison, that no one committed suicide. Like how many people could deal with that? You get out of jail, you didn't do it, you're a sex offender for life.
Yeah. Right?
No matter what nobody thinks you are, you're guilty. So until Reyes, who was the offender, confessed, and even then they didn't want to accept that. So it's like it turned everybody into what they are today, and it reminds people that, you know, the media can make up any fucking story, and we believe it.
Definitely,
we believe it. So it's similar to what happens today. Whatever they say is believed because they said it, and if enough people are behind it, it's believable.
Yeah.
And people didn't question what they saw, what they were reading. So it is something to watch.
But wasn't the Gen 6 like the same thing? Like, except for like it was down south when that shit happened?
It was down south, but it was this was far more. You gotta understand. You got international media, Gen 6. You gotta understand that what going to Rikers at 16, what they had to experience, rapes.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's like
I
don't live through it. Like we seen it on the news, seen it coming on, and then that's it. It disappeared. And now, like, I'm happy that she made the documentary because they went back and checked the prosecutor or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now they going in on her, checking her and stuff. So like she might get what they call it, lose her bar or whatever. She might basically just not
or a bar license.
Thank you.
She's on many boards.
But she's under investigation basically.
Yeah, as a lawyer.
Yeah. I mean, so like, I'm glad something is coming out of it. But at the same time, I just can't take no more hey, America hates you, black guy. Watch this movie. I'm like, nah, I can't do it. I'd rather watch fucking John Wick.
I really
in my heart, I just can't take it.
I feel the same way that Jai does. Like, I think it's very informative. I think that it is a movie that should be watched for those people who aren't as, I guess, or aren't as negatively impacted, or those that don't know the story. Like me. Personally, I saw a documentary, I did some reading on my own, so that was enough for me. But as far as, like, I feel the same way. Like, I feel like I've seen the judicial system, I've seen other systems in America mistreat, abuse, all of these things. Like, I'm fully aware of what's going on. I'm not disillusioned. I get it, and I just don't. At this point, when I see things like that, it doesn't inform me, it just infuriates me. And because I don't have a solution, one that doesn't involve bloodshed, it makes me feel like I'm in a corner. And I don't see anything to do.
Like little homeboys that went through that, like, just the whole sexual assault rape. I got a homeboy that lost a college scholarship for a ride because this chick decided, rape, and then all of them got in trouble. Then in court, so just happened to have a camera out. Her parents had to watch her on camera popping off with a gang of dudes consensually. That's why they had to play the court. They was like, yo, we got the video. She wanted to da-da-da. They had to watch that shit in court. But my homeboy still lost his scholarship. They all lost their scholarships. Just trying to have fun. I'm not saying they're right. They're fucked up for doing whatever they're doing, but that gets done. So
yeah, I put it like this. The Gen 6, right? I'm not familiar with whether what they would their sentences were carried out, or how much they served, or even what it wasn't even an actual crime, right? They were
I don't remember.
Nobody remembers it, right?
And that's the fucked up thing about it until the Gen 6 movie come out.
Yeah, but it's like it's not. There's nowhere near the weight of this. Like I said, the impact and the storytelling that is involved in this movie. This series is tremendous. Put it like this: it'll be something to watch. I know what you think you're gonna see, but it's far more than what you think you're gonna see. You're talking about resiliency. You're talking about hope. You're talking about people that that show the human spirit at the end of the day. How they come out of it. It's not a regular story. It's not somebody got wronged by the judicial injustice system. It's people, how to react to them, how they react within themselves, the acting job, the writing involved. I mean, it is a tremendous series. Not to be put into a bundle with other series where you just talking about like Sylvia the Slave or something where it's just like trauma based. This shit is.
Bro, I cried on the Beale Street Guitar, dog.
Yeah. When you finish watching this movie at the end, it's just a miracle that somebody could come out of that. It's just amazing. But go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback on what you're saying. Like, I don't want you to think like I don't want you to think it's just showing the injustice that you already know that go on in America. Like Joe was saying, this for me watching it. And I mean, I knew some things about it, but I didn't know a lot about it. So for me, just being basically an outsider who knew very little about it, just like the main topics about it, like, 5 minorities were falsely accused of rape, a white woman in Central Park. That's really what I knew. But this story fleshes out things that I didn't think about as far as how it affects family, as far as, not just living in the moment of the rape and them being found guilty, because that's just a moment, but how it affects families, how it affects them when they come back home, how they try to reacclimate themselves into society, and society basically, they feeling like society hates them for a crime they didn't commit. Like, these are things you don't think about when you just think about the moment of the injustice of them being falsely accused. You got to think about, it made me think about the bigger picture of just like, whenever injustices happen today, and not just look at it for the moment of the injustice, but think about how the families are affected by things like this, how there's so many different ripple effects that come from a moment of an injustice that happened to a black person that we don't really see. We only see that moment, whether this be on Instagram, a video, or whatever. We caught up in the moment, and then when a police officer gets away with it and this, that, and the third, but we don't think about the trauma and the things that the family goes through dealing with such circumstances. And I think this miniseries fleshes out things like that you don't think about, that you wouldn't take into consideration. I mean, people live through it or whatever, who, like I said, I was happened in '89, so I was like 7. Like, I remember, like, I was in the Thundercats and shit like that. Like, I don't, I probably seen it on the news, but I didn't really know too much about it. But watching this story, it just, like you said, it was great storytelling, and it just brought a lot of things that I didn't really think about outside of just people who were falsely accused of something. I didn't know about, like, for instance, like the sex offender thing, like that they have to register every 90 days for life. I didn't know that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't know that, I knew they had to be like a certain distance from a school. Yeah. And then it was like, what was the part where he was going to work for a manager, and then for a restaurant, and then if I forgot what.
Well, if you work for somebody and you're a felon, and they happen to hire another felon.
Right. Yeah.
One of y'all can both go back to jail.
Right.
So little things like that.
Right. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Highlander is fucked up.
You can't get a state license or anything. Like, it's just an amazing human story. I didn't think of it as a black.
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that.
Like a black traumatic story. It's really a human story at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Children.
It happened to little 17-year-old or 18-year-old.
They're
14 to 16.
14 to 16.
Yeah. So
14 and 15, and one of them was 16. So it's a great human story. Like, it's just amazingly done. Even if I didn't know anything about the story, but it's more impactful to me because I grew up seeing it, and I was just there at age, and it always had resonance with me. So to see them and to have met them and just be so, and this, all of them was just so gracious and kind after all that time in jail. It's like to see them in this moment winning the money and having a semblance of a rebirth for themselves was a great thing. I'm glad she did it. It can be put into the category of as a regular series, because it definitely is not. I mean, even like just on another topic, She's Gotta Have It. some of the best shit Spike Lee ever did. In my opinion.
Oh, watch. See You Yesterday. It's called See You Yesterday.
Yeah,
time travel.
That shit is dope. Like it's one of the most original storylines, and it still has like a message towards it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's shot in Brooklyn. Let's go, BK all day. Yeah, but that's a real good movie and shit.
Did y'all hear about that Dr. King stuff about the fact that the FBI said he witnessed a rape?
He witnessed
vaguely
a rape? Or
he witnessed a rape. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a debate going on about, okay, like I always say, are there any heroes left, right? If you look at everybody's frailties, right? Basically, they're saying that. Now, do you give credence to it? If the author says the FBI said that Dr. King, in one of their transcripts, witnessed a friend raping a woman. Is that something that? Because that's something that they're trying to put out there.
Well, who's the leader of the FBI then?
J. Edgar Hoover.
So that is right there already. I don't know shit they got to say about no J. Edgar Hoover. We already know him. We already know who hangs right.
Well, here's what I say, and you do have to consider the source, right? So we know that my understanding at that time with that movement and with the Black Panther movement, there were two methods that were used, right? And the same goal was for both. They couldn't have, and this was J. Edgar Hoover words, I believe, we can't have a quote unquote Black Messiah, right? That's what he said in writing. Period. Right. So
still in play.
So they used recordings and they used them against people, or they made shit up.
Exactly.
So either way, like the vendetta behind it was, we need to destroy Black figures. If a victim hasn't come forward, I would be more inclined to believe a victim versus something that came from the FBI at that time. Exactly. That's just my personal opinion.
Agree.
So next step. What if they manufacture a victim?
Yeah.
What
if they manufacture one?
I mean, it's the FBI. Look.
I mean, it's a possibility. I'm just saying, like,
I don't hold no credence to it, no matter what they manufacture. I don't want to get none of that shit.
Like, if the author said, like, the fact that the author said, "Oh, the FBI said,"
right?
Like, I
that's like basically saying, like, well, so and so and them, Pookie and them said, like, bro, I don't want to hear that shit, bro.
Given that time period, I'm just not sure.
But what if they tried it out? A victim.
We ain't believing it. We don't believe it.
That's
what I'm saying.
Some people might.
You might not.
But even then,
I don't care what happens.
Even then, what next?
Yeah,
what would be the point?
What's the point?
What would be the point?
Well, Michael Jackson's dead, right? And they wanted to exhume his body, right? So I mean, my point.
Are they still talking about that? Did it gain traction?
I mean, it gained traction, then it went away.
Oh, okay.
It's like you can't.
to
me, you can't really detract what he did, all the greatness that he has done.
Yeah.
Like you really can't detract, especially after he's dead. Like Bill Cosby, yeah, you can affect me because he's still alive.
But even then, like Bill Cosby himself, like I just finished by the way, it's if you have Amazon Prime, all 8 seasons free. Yes.
Oh, okay.
But I watched that body of work. And regardless of what he's, because I don't condone
which body of work.
The Cosby Show.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the Cosby Show. I don't condone whatever he was convicted of. Y'all know I ride for the victims. However, it doesn't take away from that show was pivotal in my life. That show showed me a functional family. Because I didn't have one at the time. That show was the reason I had aspirations to go to college. That was the reason I said I wanted to be a quote unquote baby doctor. Yeah. That was the only insight I had into upper class and middle class African Americans.
Yeah.
So you can't take away that impact.
In my opinion, it caused you to want to do great things. You know what I'm saying?
It did.
It's like you look
and
at
the
message.
person can still be a shitty person and have great impact.
You can be a really shitty person and have a great message. It's not. That doesn't mean like, oh shit, whatever they said, I'm gonna just throw it in the trash. No, that doesn't mean that because. You can pretty much take the goodness out of that situation and turn it into your own, good.
It's like similar to the Francis Scott Key comment. Like those that believe in that song in that moment, they're not going to give a fuck what you tell them about him. If he killed black people, robbed them or enslaved them, which he did, the song is great, right? They're not going to care about that. So Willie Allen's great, even though he fucked his adopted daughter and married her. He's still great. Nobody's cooperating. Nobody's doing anything to him.
Yeah.
So their heroes kind of stay intact, right? And the Bill Cosby show was 20 years into his career. So
I mean,
I was in second grade when the Cosby Show came out.
I was a baby out here.
So but he already was 20 years in the game at that point. So my thing is, you have to come with some real. You have to counterbalance what you're talking to me about, because most of what you're talking about is Hollywood shit, and men know how Hollywood shit is. Just like today.
Wild shit
happens. Chicks fucking with Future, not gonna be able to tell me you don't fuck with Molly.
And Percocet.
Because Future tells people fuck with Molly and Percocet. It is what it is.
Fucking in the
I mean, it's what it is. It's how it is. It's how it goes. But it's basically It was a debate going on about what level would people go to.
I think there's a thing going on right now where it's like every great person, somebody trying to find something that they did. Everybody's just nitpicking right now. Everybody. That's in media specifically.
I mean, because every great person, if you're that great, then there's someone out there that doesn't.
That's why everybody that's trying to become a president. It's like they find all this shit.
There's someone out there that
regardless of they black, white, they trying to find all this shit.
Everybody's perfect.
I have a problem with my whole problem with the whole thing about the Martin Luther King is I have a problem with somebody trying to discredit a known quote unquote black hero many years down the line after they've passed, using the words or tactics of somebody who's a known racist who was against him. And I just feel like that's just, to me, it's tacky, it's corny, and it's like somebody saying, down the line, hey, Malcolm X and David Duke used to hang out together back in the day. Like, what the fuck are you getting out of there now? Like, why are you bringing it up now?
Malcolm X was a KKK.
Right, and it's like, it just, to me, there's no purpose behind it. That's something that they could have just, it was no reason for them to try.
I didn't even know about it. So.
Right. Listen,
that's all I gotta say.
They tried and they failed.
Yeah, that was
nobody really even paid attention.
It's a dub, right?
That's definitely a dub. But bro, I think we talked about a lot of shit today. So this was a very informative episode. I like this shit. We had fun. I like this.
And what's the name of the episode? I got a big dick. Allegedly. Bro, you already said the 48 laws of pussy, like, I don't know, or 48 laws of vagina. Okay, well, I have a large phallus, allegedly. Is that better?
Niggas don't know what phallus means. Whatever she
Phallus?
said.
What's the, I mean...
Niggas don't know what phallus is. Bro, that bitch owe me money.
What?
What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck that means.
It's funny that phallus and fallacy sounds so close. Person closely.
I'll figure it out. But, yeah, like I said, man, I think we'll go ahead and call it a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Sean, Mr. NJ Brick City.
This is Jared from Up in the Sky.
Just Kia.
Joe.
Any?
Oh, under I was fucking with y'all.
Bro, your talking privilege is about to be just revoked.
Nah, nigga, you can't take that.
Don't do that to Osman.
I wasn't even talking, so how am I talking privilege taken away?
That's why. Doing wild
I
shit.
wasn't talking, dog.
Don't do Osman.
Wow, bro. Wow, man. This is done. Holla at y'all niggas later, alright? Peace.
Bye.
Oh, man.
Bro, that shit be fucking my head.